What is going on, YouTube? So coming back now with my Penn State Nittany Lions football preview for 2016. So talking about a team that went 7-6 last year, 4-4 in conference, had a rough finish to the season with some bad losses to Michigan and Michigan State. So go ahead and start with the first of my three key players, and I've got the quarterback, Trace McSorley. So Christian Hackenberg era is over. Seemed like it lasted a little while and seemed like it was something that really just didn't work out that well for either party. Christian Hackenberg came in, was supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He was a 5-star recruit, just absolute stud when he was coming into college. Could still be a good quarterback in the pros, but had a very rough time at Penn State. McSorley took over last year in the bowl game against Georgia and, did all right, but still ended up losing the game. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens when they go in a new direction, though. I think that's just something that was needed. That they need a new quarterback to be able to step in and at least give the offense a new look. So my second key player is maybe the best player on this Penn State team, and that is Saquon Barkley, one of the best freshman running backs in the country last year. Should be one of the best running backs in the country again this year. He'll be backed up by Akeel Lynch, who is also another pretty good running back. The Penn State's gotten a very large stable of backs, including Mark Allen and Nick Scott as well. Three guys between Scott, Allen, and Barkley that should be around for a while in College Station. So, College Station, excuse me. Anyway, talking about a team that I feel like an offense just needs a spark from both ends. It needs to be a very balanced offense. I think Barkley will be one of the leading rushers in the Big Ten this year, but I think they're going to need, like I said, a spark from both the passing and running game. Having one or the other is not really going to work out well this year. So move over to the defensive side of the ball, and my only key player on that side is Marcus Allen. One of two returning players in the secondary for Penn State. They lose Jordan Lucas at safety. They lose Trevor Williams at cornerback. Now, maybe the biggest thing for Penn State is replacing their losses on defensive line, but I'll get to that later. Marcus Allen is going to be able to have to lead a good secondary this year. They're going to have to be better. Last year really slipped down the line. It seemed like the entire team kind of faded off down the line, so it's not, you can't really blame it on any one set of people, but Marcus Allen and Grant Haley are going to have to lead that secondary this year to be a very effective secondary. They're bringing in Malik Golden, a senior, so he's experienced, but a new safety at that, replacing Jordan Lucas, and then Christian Campbell replacing Trevor Williams. So moving to my first of two X factors, and that is protecting the quarterback, something that's been extremely not apparent in Penn State's last couple seasons. If there's any season that they should be able to have a good offensive line, it is this one. All 5 returning starters, 4 of them being seniors, the other one being a junior. And then even a little bit of depth at that. They got some depth at the tackle spot. Another guy, Andrew Nelson, that's a backup too. All of the tackles can rotate in. But this should be a better offensive line this year. McSorley, if he's running for his life, it might be another rough season for another Penn State quarterback. That goes for more than just Trace McSorley, though. That goes for being able to run block for, like I said, a very deep stable of backs. If they are even somewhat successful in the blocking game, I think that this will be a much, much improved offense in the Big Ten this year. So, move into my second X factor, and I have giving up less points in big games. There's one main highlight of this fact, and that is the Michigan State game in which they lost 55-16 last year, in a game that was supposed to be at least a little bit competitive. It's going to be tough this year. They lose 3 NFL quality defensive linemen. All 3 actually went to the NFL: Anthony Zettel, Austin Johnson, and Carl Nassib. Only one returning starter along the defensive line, Garrett Sickles. Again, if I could have a 4th key player, he would have been it. Torrance Brown, Antoine White, and Parker Cawthorn come in, replace those other 3 spots along the defensive line. Kind of a younger defensive line this year, and we'll see what happens They're going to have to be able to stop the run and at least generate some sort of pass rush. At the mid-level, they have every single linebacker returning: Troy Reeder, Jason Kabinda, and Brandon Bell. So, again, should be fine there. And then the secondary, again, I think it's up to, like I said, Marcus Allen, Grant Haley. They got to be effective leaders in that secondary this year. So, move into my trap game for Penn State. And again, it's very similar to LSU. It's a team that beat Penn State last year, and that is Temple. Temple, they do bring back P.J. Walker, so they do have returning starters all over the offense. Defensively, they lose Tyler Matakevich, which is going to, obviously it's going to hurt. He's one of the best linebackers in the country last year. Now, again, Penn State will come into this game favored, at least in my mind, and it's a game they're going to have to win if they want to be able to be respected across the country, and if James Franklin wants to be able to save his job this year, get another coach on the hot seat. So, my biggest game for Penn State is going to be Michigan State. Another game that comes at the end of the year. They get the game at home this year at Beaver Stadium, a Michigan State team that shouldn't be as strong as they were last year. Granted, Penn State should be a lot better, at least on the offensive side of the ball this year. Again, if Penn State wants to move back up into that top 3 tier of the Big Ten East, they're going to have to be able to handle games like this, at least win one of them against Michigan, Ohio State, or Michigan State. I don't think the Michigan or Ohio State games are going to be very winnable this year. Maybe Ohio State, but again, they were still 28 points off last year. So I think their best chance to move into that top 3 would be against Michigan State. So move into my record prediction for Penn State. And I just want to go through this game by game because this could be a very interesting season for Penn State. You got your opening game against Kent State, and I think they're going to take that one. I mean, let's be honest here. It's Kent State. Pitt and Temple, I think they're going to split those, most likely losing to Pitt and then beating Temple. So at that point, they will be 2-1. Michigan, I don't think they're going to be able to, like I said, I don't think they're going to be able to ink out a win against Minnesota. Be a close game. I think they'll be able to get a win from a team over in the Big Ten West, Maryland, to get another win. Ohio State, again, more winnable than Michigan in my mind, but it's not. I don't think it's going to be a win. Purdue, you got to win. Iowa's probably going to be a loss. Indiana, a team that they've really had pretty good success against, so that's another win that you got there. Rutgers, probably get your 7th win of the year, and then Michigan State, probably your 5th loss of the year. So taking the same exact record through the regular season as last year, except I really do think that Penn State's going to be able to get a win in a bowl game this year. I think that James Franklin's at least going to be able to save his job for another year, and the offense can at least look positively heading into the future. So I would put their record overall at 8-5, and that'll pretty much do it for my Penn State preview for 2016. I'll be coming back later today, still in the Big Ten, with my Minnesota Golden Gophers preview. So stay tuned for that. But that's pretty much it. See ya.